up, Finn?
I didn't sleep well again.
Nightmare?
Yes. There was a ghost ship. I dreamed I was locked inside. And I couldn't remember why.
Well, you're not locked in now. Except maybe because of me.
You didn't actually fall asleep in the office, did you?
No. Of course not.
MSC has been trying to reach you for minutes, Finn.
I'll go right away. Thanks, Colman.
Daniel Defoe, this is MSC. Daniel Defoe, this is MSC. Over.
Defoe here.
The Captain Figment deep sea fisher has reported that they're taking on water. The team has already started fixing the leak, but they're going to need help draining the ship.
Roger. Can you give us the coordinates?
They've been transmitted. It's near the offshore ore rig.
Okay, we're on our way. Captain Figment, this is Daniel Defoe, over. We heard you've been taking on water.
Affirmative. We're able to keep the worst of it at bay for the time being, but we're definitely going to need help to keep this leak under control.
We're already nearby. Captain Figment, we're going to start the pumps.
Okay, but it could take a while. The ship took on a lot more water than we initially assumed.
No problem. The Defoe will stay here as long as necessary to support you guys. So as long as the Defoe is pumping out water at this position, we're not going anywhere. Captain Figment, the pump has been installed and is up and running.
Super. Our men will begin draining.
I actually have a few questions. What is your call name and IMO number?
Call name TKKB. IMO number 524-5434.
Who is the owner of the ship?
The Nemo Shipping Company.
What is your home port?
Port Deckendale.
What are you fishing for?
Deep sea fish, primarily Alfonsinos.
You know that you're fishing in the exclusive economic zone. Only the bordering state is allowed to access and utilize the resources here.
We are aware of that. We are sailing under the flag of the bordering state and are also registered there.
We'll get right back to you. I actually have a few questions.
Yes?
We'll get right back to you. What's your take on the situation, Colman?
It's definitely going to take some time for all that water to be pumped out. I'm just wondering what a trawler is doing this far out, way past the territorial waters.
I'm guessing he's fishing for deep-sea fish.
I think we should run a check on the Captain Figment, just to be sure. Do you have the ship data ready for a data check?
Sure.
Good. Then what's the IMO number?
524-5434.
The Fisher's home port?
Port Deckending.
Call name?
TKK.
We're just missing the ship's owner now.
Nemo Shipping Company.
So, then let's get on with the plausibility check. Yeah, that sounds plausible. I have the ship in the database. I'll run a check to see if this Fisher is legit. I'll be back in touch as soon as I have the results.
Thanks, Colman. Let's see what those results are. I actually have a few questions.
Yes?
You're fishing for Alfonsinos with bottom trawls?
Yes.
Do you have the required license for the bordering state?
Well, the license should be here somewhere. Can I just email it to you?
Yes, that's possible. My colleague will give you the contact details.
I'll email it to you as soon as possible. It might take a while. We still have to find it among all our documents.
We'll get right back to you.
Finn, Figment's license has just been emailed. I left the printout on the desk in your office.
Okay, thanks, Colman. I'll run a check on it with Fatima. Captain Figment emailed me their license. Anything out of the ordinary?
Everything seems to be in order here. The trawler is allowed to fish the Alfonsino.
Finn,
Yes, Colman.
I just ran the check on the Figment's data. Everything's fine. It flies the flag of the coastal state and has all the required registrations.
Thanks, Colman. The deep-sea fishing license is here too.
Well, then let's get to work pumping the water out of their ship, and then we can get out of here too. Can you inform the Figment about the results?
Will do. I actually have a few questions.
Yes?
We've run a check on the information you gave us.
Any problems?
No, you're all good.
Thought so. You wouldn't believe how much time these constant controls cost me, always keeping me from getting any work done.
We know it's not easy for you, but we have to keep an eye on these things.
But we already get checked very thoroughly, and we do our part and keep to the fishing quotas. Why don't you take a look at the oil industry? Those oil rigs are ticking time bombs, and nobody's checking them. And I'm not even talking about their yield. At least our haul can reproduce and grow back.
Well, that can also take 20 to 30 years with these deep-sea fish.
But you can't compare the two. That offshore oil rig alone is pretty suspicious if you ask me.
Offshore? That oil company? Suspicious. Why? Have you been on the offshore oil rig recently?
Not personally, but I always pass by pretty close on my fishing routes. Well, I heard a bunch of loud screaming and talking last night. That was pretty strange. There's not usually a lot of partying going on there late at night.
What did you see?
Well, a while ago there was a refugee boat that docked there, and shortly afterwards there was even another one. Well, I thought it was pretty strange and expected you guys from the Coast Guard to show up at any second, but you never did.
They took in refugees without informing us. Thank you very much for the information. Those statements have made me curious. We should go take another closer look at the oil rig. But first, we have to drain the figment. We'll get on it in the evening. Larry, Fatima Colman and I are on our way with the Luke Fox. We're going to take another look at the oil rig. I have a weird feeling about it for some reason. Captain Figment, what is your current status?
Not too problematic. There's hardly any more water getting in. But we'd still like to keep the pumps just in case our sealing doesn't hold.
No problem. Larry, can you take care of that?
Typical! Just leave me behind with all the equipment that I have no idea how to use.
No worries, you can do it. We'll be right back.
We just want to be extra sure.
All right, off to the offshore island.